Oh, hi everyone, it's me, KP, and I'm here in my studio, The Moon and the Maker. Now, well, it's home of Rubber Moon, but also now home of Art Foamies. So I'm gonna just sit here and look silly for a minute because I just want to wait and sort of see who is joining me. Unfortunately, I cannot see comments on my computer, so I'm going to have to get ready here on the Art Foamies page so I can hopefully see some of the comments and be able to chat with all of you. So here I am. Hold on one second. I'll be right back. Thank you. Yay! Okay, so yay, now I can see everybody. Hi. Okay, so I'm sorry about that little technical difficulty, but that's just me. Most of you, well, maybe not most of you. I think anybody who's coming over here from Rubber Moon knows me and knows that I am sometimes forgetful. Patty Parrish and Gina and Joanne and Linda. Hello and welcome. Did I say Emily, Rita, Bearcat? Nice to have you here. Thank you so much for coming. Oh my gosh, I'm not going to say hi to everyone because I'll be here for a while if I do, but I just want to tell you all how oh my gosh, how excited and how nervous, how just over the moon and honored I am to be here. I really barely know where to even begin. So it's so exciting. I've seen all my friends. I could cry. I know that many of you know me and have seen me cry live plenty of times. Barb, it means so much to me that you're here. I love you, Becky. Oh my gosh, it would not be the same without you. And Tracy, just I'm so overwhelmed right now. Thank you, Linda, so much. Except for I have pandemic hair. I got, as many of you know, I had really long hair. Just when my kids went off to college, my hair was like really the longest it's ever been, and I liked it a lot. But I decided when my two youngest went off to college at the same time that I would cut it really short as sort of my newfound freedom. And now that I can't get it cut, it's going to be a bush pretty soon. Phyllis, it's so nice to see you. Rita, thank you. Yes, this is my happy place, and I'm very fortunate. For so many years I had my studio was always in my at my kitchen table, so having this space is really super nice. As you can see, I fill it up with a lot of junk. Yeah, Linda, do you like it? I wondered if you'd notice. Gina Aarons, thank you so much for being here. It means so much to me. I do have a few people. I would like to start by just welcoming you again and thanking you for being here. Um, this is really, really exciting for me and for my family and for stamp lovers, for art foamy lovers. I want to start by saying that dreams really do come true. Okay. So if anybody out there doubts, please do not. When you have a dream and you get it like a dog with a bone, you can make it happen because almost 8 years ago, I uh, just lost my house. Well, no, 10 years ago, I had just lost my house. And I was in school getting my degree in art and had two little kids. Did not know what the heck I was going to do with an art degree. First of all, felt really like I had no business getting one. But anyway, fast forward, I ended up buying Rubber Moon, many of you know, and that was sort of just on a wing and a prayer. I don't know how that happened, but literally the heavens opened up and handed Rubber Moon to me. No, I mean it wasn't easy, but it was something that I just made it happen. I don't know how, and I don't know how I'm still standing here 8 years later, and coming to you with a new company, ArtFoamies. I want to first of all thank Emmy, the founder and the creator of ArtFoamies. I don't know if she's here watching or not, but I do want to thank her for not only believing in me, but I do understand and I feel like I know how it would feel to hand over my baby, which is Rubber Moon, to somebody else. So I just want to say how much I appreciate your belief in me and you letting me continue this wonderful thing that you started. Um, so I want to stop and say hi to Red Tin Roof Designs. I am going to be introducing everyone to all the Art Foamy artists in just a few minutes. And so I want to really thank Alana for being here and all my friends. If I have not mentioned you by name, just know that I love seeing your name pop up and I'm just super tickled, more than I can say. I'll probably say it like 20 times. Anyway, so back to my story. I do not know how. I want to thank Natalie Kalbach. She actually, oh, I see Marta. I see something shiny, so I have to stop. Marta, thank you so much for being here. Again, I am going to be introducing all the Art Foamy artists here in just a few minutes. I just want to continue thanking Emmy for again giving me this or help just giving me this opportunity to carry on this wonderful company that she started. As many of you do know, I have been loved stamps and used stamps and been involved in the stamping world for many years. And so really Art Foamies is just a different kind of stamp. I feel like I know I've had a lot of people ask me, like, will I still do Rubber Moon, or why would I want this kind of stamp instead of a rubber stamp? And it's not really instead of, that's like saying, why would I want like a round paintbrush and a flat paintbrush, right? So, it's just another creative tool. They can be used in similar ways, but also very different. So, and of course, I will be introducing you to that, but also over the course of time, so many great artists and designers and customers and friends. And of course, here at the Moon and the Maker Studio, we will be working with them to bring you lots of samples and ideas and projects. But of course, Art Foamies is not a brand new company, okay? Emmy started the company ironically around the same time that I bought Rubber Moon. So we've been actually in business for just about the same amount of time. So there's lots of great content already on the blog and, all on YouTube and on the internet. So lots of ways that you can get familiar with Art Foamies if you're not already. I will tell you that I personally am not, like an Art Foamy expert. I had used Art Foamies some in the past, and of course, we recently just started making them. So I've been sort of trial by fire, really like a quick education. But if you're already dabbling in mixed media, or you're already a mixed media artist, or you're already crafty, or you're gonna just you're gonna take to it like a duck to water. They're just fantastic. I love them because they are so much different than a regular rubber stamp, but yet you're gonna get your same kind of mark making. Anyway, I'm going off on tangents, so I want to stop for a second and say hello to my friend Sarah Vuxen. She's here. It wouldn't be the same without her. She owns 100 Proof Press, so I hope that you're all familiar with her and her company. I feel in so many ways I would not be here without Sarah's support and her friendship. So it means a lot to me to see you here. So many people. I'm just kind of overwhelmed seeing all your names. All my kids are here. My husband, Mr. Moon. Gosh, Gina Hubbard. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I have such a list of people to thank right now, and I know I'm not at the Academy Awards. I don't feel like that, but I do want to take a few minutes to thank some people because honestly, like I would not be here without them. I have a list. I wrote a list. Yes, I did because I did not want to forget anybody, but now if only I can find the list. That would be the question. I was so good because I tried to really remember everything. and put a little note even down by my table here. But of course, now Maxie, my daughter, is going to be laughing at me because I don't have my list. So I'm just going to have to try to remember. And that is dangerous because you usually always forget somebody really important when you don't have a list. But I'm going to wing it like I usually do. Okay. So first of all, I want to thank my husband and partner, Mr. Moon. That's not his real name. We just call him that. But for endlessly supporting me in everything I do, even when I shrew at him. Sometimes I do. But he knows how much I love him and would never, ever be sitting here with Rubber Moon or anything else without him. So I would also like to thank all my kids, Maxie, Cheyenne, Lexi, Marin, and Michael. Um, they, well, they're my kids and I love them, of course, but especially to a few of them. And I'm going to say to Maxie for being here. Well, she hasn't been here for a few weeks, but through it all, working with me and supporting me and just being the best right hand gal a mom and a business owner could have. I want to thank Cheyenne for always just being so sweet and thoughtful and helping out wherever and whenever we need her. And finally, to my son, Michael, who we would not be having Art Foamies without him because he came home right when the whole pandemic started. And, he was very sad about missing as many kids are right now, about missing his final days or weeks of his freshman year in college. And so I just told him we were going to have to make the best of the situation since we were all kind of, sheltering in place here. That I know he probably did not want to be stuck just with his mom and dad because it's just the three of us right now. So I said he did not probably want to be just stuck at home with his mom and dad for endlessly. But since he needed to help, and he was going to help no matter what, because he would have had to have a summer job anyway, right? So I said, you're going to make some art foamies. He's really, really great on the computer and very technically able. So I said, this is what we're going to do. And he did it without question and has been here cutting stamps and helping me every day. So thank you, Michael. I love you. And man, even though sometimes getting him over here was like pulling teeth, but that's okay. He's 17. What can you expect? All right. So my kids, my husband, some of my wonderful, uh, colleagues and friends, Patty Euler from the Queen's Inc. Oh my gosh, I cannot say enough about her friendship and support. I hope that you will check out queensinc.com and support Patty and her store through all this. Maura Wagner from My Heart's Fancy, her store in Oklahoma. I mean, just a wonderful friend and again, support. And so I just want to shout them out because I know that there's so many other small businesses that, and all these places carried Art Foamies and Rubber Moon. Okay. So it is relevant. So Maura at My Heart's Fancy, again, Anna Chang at the Ink Pad in New York. Definitely, thinking about all my stores, and Zazzy at Impress in Seattle. Those are the 4 stores that have supported me and my journey and also carried art foamies. So I hope that you'll check them out. And they've been great friends throughout the years. So I really appreciate that. Also, when I told them all that I was trying to buy art foamies, every single one of those stores put in orders or somehow supported me to help me get the money together that I needed. So just just amazing customers and friends. I mean, you guys are like my family. I love you, Estrella Bianchi. I love you and thank you so much for your support. A few of you like bought goodie boxes and just sent me a check to help me. I mean, I can't even say enough about how much I appreciate you. And so many of you have been here from the beginning. Cindy Sharp. I mean, I cannot even, Diane, I've stayed in your home. I just don't even know where to, say that you're a business associate and a friend and a family member. So, again, I don't want to forget anybody. Barb Rogers. Oh my gosh. One of my best friends in the whole world and has like been there, helped me move, lent me money, cooked me dinner, wiped my tears. I mean, I don't even know what to say. Pat Stein, the list just goes on and on. And so please, if I did not mention your name, know that every single one of you is so loved and appreciated. But anyway, uh, again, I'm not Sally Field, so I should stop here. And if I think of anybody else throughout the time, I might just blurt out your name, okay? The other person I do want to really say a shout out to is Natalie Kalbach. Natalie is really the one who actually put me in touch with Emmy and sort of made this happen. Because she really believed in me and told Emmy that she would not find a better person to buy her company. And so Natalie was an artist, or is an artist for Rubber Moon and for Art Foamies, and so that's the connection. So I love you so much and really appreciate you. There's one other person I just saw scroll by, and I do not want to go without mentioning your name, and that's Jan. Jan has been a Moon Mail Club member since day number one. She always is there with an answer for me if my forgetful self. And I'm always like, she's one of the people that comes online all the time. And really, I can say, Jan, what number is that? Or Jan, what's this? And she gives me answers, and she's just so supportive. So I appreciate that so much. I just want you to know. Again, like I said, if I think of anybody else, I might be over here doing something and I might just blurt something out. But I hope I didn't forget anybody, because that would make me feel terrible. Anyway, okay. Yeah, great, Jan, great job on organizing and getting it together, except for forgetting the list, right? Okay, so let me, there's two other people I do really want to mention, Patty Parrish and Gina Ahrens, two people that have sort of been behind the scenes with me for a long time. I hope you'll check out their art and their art pages. Again, that's Patty Parrish and Gina Ahrens. Both just have been super great friends and supporters. And I don't know, I see all your names and I'm like, I just want to mention every one of you. Nancy Curry, because I've known Nancy for, oh my gosh, longer than either one of us probably want to say. And, I think I'm even back in the art world partially because of seeing her at wood icing again so many years ago. So I love you, Nancy, and thank you for being here. It means so much to me. Okay, so I do have a list now of the artists for Art Foamies, because many of you I do know from, are we freezing? Somebody's saying they're freezing. I hope you'll refresh if it freezes. We're okay over here so far. So I want to mention and bring up all of the artists for Art Foamies. Many of you I actually have not had the pleasure to meet, and I don't know you in person. Many of you have talked to on the phone or through emails. I just want to say that I appreciate you so much, sticking with us and giving us the opportunity to bring your Art Foamies to to keep your art, not bring them, they've already been here, but to keep this wonderful company going. And I know many of you may not be familiar with some of the artists here, or maybe you are. I mean, because there is a lot of crossover, so it's going to be great getting to know everyone and seeing more and more of their designs. I do want to let you know at this time, and I probably should have started, I probably should have started with this, but so if you are familiar with Art Foamies, because I'm assuming there's a lot of Art Foamy people here that I do not know. I know a lot of people, obviously, from Rubber Moon, but hopefully we're going to have new friends and customers from the Art Foamy side. So I do want to just mention a few things. First of all, if you're looking at all the imagery, you're going to notice that some things are definitely missing, okay? We really felt like it was super important to get Art Foamies relaunched. The longer that we were closed, the worse it is for us and for everybody that can't get Art Foamies. There was a lot, it took longer than we hoped and anticipated already, because there was just such a learning curve. There were it was the learning curve. It was software issues. It was just being able to communicate back and forth with with Emmy. It was just so many issues. And, challenges. Not a complaint. It's just the way it is. Then, of course, the COVID-19 pandemic hit and everything sort of really froze, right? So we we did have a lot of technical difficulties with getting the imagery. Okay, that was completely unexpected. So I want you to know, and I haven't really had a chance to actually talk to many of the Art Foamy contributing artists, but I want you to know that your art, even though some of you only have a few images up there, we will be adding to the website. We had a lot of unexpected technical glitches with, again, the software, so getting the files converted was not an easy task. Okay, so many of the artists are lacking a lot of their designs, so please just bear with us and know it's going to be kind of cool because we're going to be able to add images back in. We'll be starting to add some of your new designs if you want to start submitting new designs soon. And of course, these are things that we'll be talking to the artists about, but I just want you to know if you're only seeing a few of your images up there, more and more are coming. Okay. The reason why, like I did contribute some Kae Pea art foamies, and I think I have like maybe 12 designs. The reason why I could have more is because doing them new as opposed to converting files was easier. Okay, so I just wanted to let you know all that, and not only to the artists but also to all of the Art Foamy friends and followers. So first, I would like to introduce you to Alana D. I don't know if I'm saying it right. I hope I'm saying it right. Alana D. Fortier from Red Tin Roof. So Red Tin Roof has awesome designs. I can't wait till you can check them all out because we don't have a lot of hers up there yet. But please, I hope you'll keep checking back often to see what's new. Anita Rodway from Flutterby Designs. So, and I am going to be showing you also at least one of each of the designer. Okay, but I wanted to at least say hello and mention everybody by name. Candy Rosenberg from A Vintage Girl, Kat Kerr from Kat Kerr Designs, Einat Kessler, Julie Pfeiffer-Balzer from Balzer Designs, Lisa Walton, Marta Harvey, Natalie Callback from N Studio, Rita Barakat, Sarah Matthews, Jessica Sporn, Gina Hubbard from Gypsy Soul Studio, and me, Kae Pea. I do want to mention to you that there are a couple new additions. Is Jessica Sporn, who is also a Rubber Moon artist, and we have a few of her images up that I just thought we thought that you would love them in foam, and so we wanted to bring those to you. And then Gina Hubbard from Gypsy Soul, who I wanted to just take a moment out to especially thank Gina, and I might cry just a little bit. Gina is a friend of mine, and she also owns Gypsy Soul Laser Cuts. Okay, so you may have, from the Rubber Moon side, you may have seen some of like the Nicho kits and the little stamping blanks and different things like that. Gina and I have worked together on a lot of collaborations to bring little, kits and chipboard pieces to you that, like I said, that we've collaborated on throughout the years. When I told Gina that I was buying this business, she knew the software and she knew the machinery, and she literally took 3 days out of her life and out of her business and left her husband and came up here, drove 4 hours and stayed in a didn't even stay because I don't have room for her here. She stayed in a hotel and worked with me every day, teaching me how to do and teaching Michael how to do this. So I don't even really, there's really no way to thank her. I mean, I tried. I sent her, a small card and a thank you, and told her a million times, thank you so much, thank you, I love you, thank you, and I asked her to design some art foamies, and she sent me designs that were just, I mean, she's a wonderful designer. So I can't wait for you to see Gypsy Soul art foamies. And thank you again, Gina. I don't know if she's on here. She told me I needed a reminder. But of course, I said, me remind you, like I'm like one of the most forgetful people, you know. Anyway, all right. So let's probably you don't need to see my face anymore. Just here smiling and grinning ear to ear. Yes, thank you, Gina. Thank you so much. I'm going to turn the camera around. I'm going to just talk to you about some of the supplies and I'm just going to keep you know, gibber. Gina is here. Mwah! Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. She she never comes out on Facebook, so I must be pretty special if I got her over here. Gina, you're the best. All right. So, one thing about art foamies is they are black. Okay, the foam is black. So when you have a brand new art foamy that has not been used, or if it's been used with, say, a dark color.
I was going to say she's here.
Yeah, I saw her. Hold on, I'm trying to find. Okay, so like this right here has not been used, okay? So it doesn't really show up very well on camera at all, okay? Like you can, this has little detail in it, you cannot see it, okay? Yep, Phyllis, it might just be yours. You might have to refresh, but we have had a couple little freezy spots, but then it seems to be okay. So I hope it's okay. Sharon says hers is okay. Yeah, I think people are having little freezing issues every now and then. Jan is saying, I don't know, Mr. Moon and Maxie are both here, Jan, so they'll try to help you. But Jan is saying it's asking for a password to get into the site. So that's no good. We don't want that. We'll get that fixed up. All right. So anyway, so art foamies are sort of hard to see, to photograph, or definitely on camera. So one thing that you can do to help that, of course, is put some paint on it. I don't have any paint handy right this second or open, so I'm just going to take one of my Moonlight Duos and I'm going to rub it across the top there, and that'll at least make it so you can see that image, right? So one thing, art foamies are completely made of foam. I know many of you already know this, but some of you may not if you're new here. So I just want to let you know they are completely made out of foam. So that eliminates the need for a mount, whether you use acrylic mount or wood mount. So they're really nice because they have that nice bulk to them. So they're easy to grab and hold and stamp. But they're nice and lightweight. Okay, so they will stamp a little bit differently, okay, than a rubber stamp. You don't need to smash them as much, or press quite as hard as you would a rubber stamp. At least that's what I find. I don't know, and maybe it's because they are a little bit bigger and they sort of have that nice even surface area. So really, they're just super easy to stamp. Great with a jelly plate, great with mixed media, fantastic on fabrics and walls and home decor projects. In fact, I'm getting ready to do a lampshade soon, so I hope maybe you'll join me for that. We will be doing all sorts of, little lives, and we will cross promote between Rubber Moon and Art Foamies, but I do want to let you know that they are going to be treated as separate entities. The reason why, and I have already had people ask if you can combine orders. Rubber Moon and Art Foamies are two completely separate websites. Okay, so there will not be any ordering together. Every now and then we may offer like a free stamp if you order something on that side, or a free foamy, something like that, just for fun, or just as a little promo. But we are not going to be shipping a lot of stamps and product and art foamies together. The reason why is because art foamies, because of the nature of the material, they really need to be shipped where they can sort of float around in the box, well, they're packaged, of course, but I mean, where they can have room and they do not get smashed. Because one thing, these are very durable, okay? They will last you a good long time, but you don't want to smash them or have any. When you store them, you're going to want to store them flat and unobstructed, okay? You don't want anything pressing down on them, because if you do, after a while, it is just foam. If you have something pressing down on there, you will indent your foam, possibly even ruin your image, okay? So that was a little aside. All right, because I get off track, but that's okay. It all comes full circle. So some of the things that you can use with your art foamies, you can use acrylic paints. These are the paints that I'm showing you are fine art acrylic paints. You can definitely use those. You can also use more of a craft paint. Or studio acrylic. Well, I don't think I necessarily have any regular craft paint, but something like a, I don't know, like apple barrel or something like that works on them as well. So any kind of acrylic or tempera paint, watercolors are great. I love to use my watercolors. And the other thing that I have recently been using when I was doing all the stamping for to get the images ready for the website are their Moonlight Duo Tint and Hue ink pads. So ink pads can be a little tricky to use with them, but these are a hybrid ink, and so they're a little bit juicier, but I really love being able to use them because if you know Moonlight Duos, they have your color, your hue on one side and your tinting pad on the other. Okay, so you have your green and you have your white, but I did not design these pads to be a green and a white pad. I designed them to actually create tints of your color. Okay, so I will actually take my ink pad. I'm just going to stamp one up here for you, and then I'm going to go through and again introduce you to the artists and show you at least one of my favorites from their collection. So remember, you have your color on one side, and you know what, I'm going to re-ink this just a little bit because it's kind of dry. Needs to have a little more juiciness to it. So this is my hue side, my green side. So I'm just, so since I don't want to mix it, I'm just going to go around, and then I can even take a little bit of my white and sort of tint that just a little bit. It'll give it a nice little gradient. And I'm actually going to take one of my little moon glow pads and just hit that center. So ink pads are also great if you're wanting to do it on paper, okay? Although, again, I do love paint on these because it's great with the jelly plate and mixed media. All right, so let me set this aside. So I just pulled all these things out so you'd know that all these different mediums work fantastic on your foamies. So I'm going to go ahead. Ooh, thank you so much, Red Tin Roof. So yes, ArtFoamies.com should be up and running. I'm seeing some thing. Oh, let's see. Oh, okay. So because we just made the site live, there might be some little issues, but I don't know. Mr. Moon is working on that and letting everybody know. Okay. So my first one here, and the other thing I do want to let everybody know too, for those of you who are familiar with Art Foamies and the Art Foamies website, there is a lot of changes, okay? A lot of changes. Hi, Anita. Thank you so much for being here. There are a lot of changes to the site, and there's going to continue being changes made pretty much daily. We'll be adding back a lot of the artist images to the site. We have really tried to streamline the pricing. So, again, if you're really familiar with the site, so for any stores or anything like that that have ordered Art Foamies and are familiar with Art Foamies, the numbers have changed. So there are significant changes, but we are hoping that the changes are good ones and that we're streamlining things. Okay, so we would love, 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 again, for those of you especially who are familiar, we would love to have your feedback. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and just stamp a couple, or I'm going to stamp the image and that I'm pulling out, and I am going to just go ahead and use Moonlight Duos, just because that way you can see the image and it can be kind of quick. I may pull out a reinker here or there as I'm working. I do want to share with you how I use the ink pads too, again, for those of you who haven't used them. So when they do start to get dirty, because I do use them a lot and I smush color, and you can see that this one actually has a little bit of maybe, other color on it. My tinting pad, even though I don't mind if it gets dirty, okay, it's contaminated, whatever, with the color, it's turned into a hue. But this one has a little pink on it because, again, I end up, really utilizing my pads as a tool to go in and really color up my stamps. I just will take a clean, dry paper towel and I will wipe it away, of course, going up and down, not horizontally, because I don't want to pull color into it. I'm going to pull that color out. Again, I'm going to get another clean, dry paper towel for the other side, and I'm going to I'm kind of scrubbing it a little bit, okay? And I'm getting all the grunge off and all the other color. And then I'm just going to re-ink this baby. Of course, I'm going to use my white on my white side and my blue on my blue side, and it's never going to bring it back up to perfectly white, but that's okay, again, because I did not create these ink pads to be a blue and a white pad, okay? If you want a white ink pad just for your whites, then you can keep a separate one like I do with this, okay? So here I've inked up my pad again, and I'm just going to, and it's nice because you can sort of just almost, wipe it across the top of the pad, the top of the foamy. And here I'm going to put a little bit of white, and I'll go ahead, and like I said, I really like to use my inks to blend and give gradients right on the stamp. And I love this stamp is called Fan by Marta Harvey, and I love it. And this is a great thing too about these kinds of stamps. First of all, they're awesome because you can get larger designs, and they just have such a nice feel in your hand. But the great thing is that they're also cut out, many of them, not all of them, are cut right to the image, okay? So you can easily line that up, all right? So let's do it again. And I think my pad was pretty dry, so let me get a little more ink on there. And again, and I might not have to ink it up every single time as long as it's kind of juicy, but all right, so let me take stop because I've been just, talking and talking and I haven't even seen if anybody's asking any questions. Although, again, I know Maxie and Mr. Moon are here, so I don't think they'll let me miss anything. Yeah, isn't this gorgeous? And just so fun because you can line it up so easily. Look at that. And then of course, if you were doing something, like on, I don't know, you could layer your leaves. Like I could stamp this again and cut some of these leaves out and make them pop out. I mean, just already so many ideas coming to me just from experimenting with the stamp. So I do have to say that I'm just so lucky because literally not one bad designer in all of the ArtFoamies catalog. I mean, everybody has some really stellar imagery. Super excited to use everybody's. Now, I should have gone in just a little bit more, but you know, pretty darn close, and it's okay, right? Isn't that gorgeous? Okay, so that is a Marta Harvey's fan, and it's number MH0004. Who's next? All right. We're going to do Sarah Matthews next. I love this stamp. And again, let me just reiterate that many of the designers only have a few stamps up. We are going to be adding back their stamps, okay, as we go along. So this, and I don't know if you could see it very well, this is a Sarah Matthews stamp, and it's an Ellie, elephant, and I love this stamp. Oh my gosh, I am so excited to actually color it. I'm going to take my black Moonlight Duo, and again, remember, this is getting pretty gray, so if I wanted to start out with a lighter, I could clean it again and re-ink it, but I'm okay with this color gray. I'm just going to go ahead and sort of pat it all over. And then I'm going to take my black side, and I'm just going to lightly sort of dab around the eyes, and I think I want a little bit of color, so I'm also going to take my yellow, my dirty grungy yellow, which needs to be cleaned, but I'm going to go ahead and just add a little sort of like reflected color. I'm going to take my neon pink here and just sort of lightly touch here and there, and finally maybe just a little bit of blue. Now Sarah has some stamps that are like really like fine, you know, surprisingly fine lined for being ArtFoamies, but they're almost like like a scratch board, and I love the effect. Okay, so she has another one called Kimono, which I also really love. Isn't that so cool? Again, that's Sarah Matthews, and I just pulled out like one that really sort of called to me as I was getting things, you know, getting things ready. So I thought that would be a good way to introduce each artist and show them to you. This one I also adore, and this is Rita Barakat, and some of hers really, some of her imagery really speaks to me because I think we have a similar aesthetic, and I am in love with this cloud. Like, this is one of those, like, I wish that I had designed because it's so dang cute, and I'm just putting white on it so you can see it, but that is a doodle cloud, and I really love it. Right, I'm just gonna take a little of my now I have these little moon glow inks, and they're like ultra bright sort of neon-y colors. I'm just going to so it's kind of cleaned off, and just maybe hit some of this brighter blue and maybe a little yellow there, and we'll put a little bit of pink right around that heart just to make it stand out. Oh, and I know that was silly, but it had a little smear, which I can't stand. I get it on my fingers, and then I touch the paper, and I'm always having a smudge. So yes, you have to see this cloud. This cloud I love. Oh, isn't it so cute? Anyway, that's Rita Barakat's Doodle Cloud, and it's number RB0013. And I'm sorry, I didn't tell you Sarah's, the number of Sarah's elephant. It is SM0003. And again, that is Rita Barakat's Doodle Cloud. Ugh, I love it. I think I might have to have one. Huh. All right, who's next? All right, we're going to pull out, let's see here. We're going to pull out Cat Kerr. Cat Kerr, of course, did this. And again, it's right up my alley. And especially, and I do want to mention, and I know that this is for ArtFoamies, but one of our Rubber Moon friends and wonderful artist and customer, Emily Murphy, came up with an idea to do a special mail art challenge. And so we're getting ready, so for anybody who's interested, it doesn't have to be just Rubber Moon. It can be anybody who's really interested. Yes, we, love to share and promote Rubber Moon stamps, but you can, if you stamp or you're a mixed media artist and you want to promote, participate, we'd love to have you. It's just going to be a 20-day, or is it, I can't remember, 20-day mail art challenge. It's coming up May 1st. And it made me think of this because this stamp is awesome and you could use it for your mail art challenge. Anyway, it's the mail art challenge is not just about mail art. It's for faux postage, envelope art, and letter writing. So it's, we figured having a letter writing campaign and just doing some things with envelopes and things like that it's such a great time for all that, right? So right now I'm just trying to make a nice little gradient. Oh, well, you know what? I'm going to go back around it too, just hitting that edge with the black side just to sort of put a ring around that. And we'll try it. Emily does rock. I agree. Oh, Emily, 24 days of mail art. Sorry. I knew I'd get it wrong. That's okay. I promised to do it for the whole 24, not just 20. Anyway, Cat Kerr outdid it herself. She has a lot of really great word stamps. So if you love words, then you're going to love Cat Kerr's ArtFoamies. I know I do. In love with this big stamp. And that one is called Postage Stamp, and it's CK0005. Not that you can't find. You can find all these on the website. It's a pretty easy. How many of you have looked on the website? I'm dying to hear what you think. All right, we have Natalie Kalbach, and so I love all of Natalie's designs because she's so great at pattern making. But I do have to say I'm really, really super partial to her batik stuff because I just love that sort of, I don't know, I love the bold pattern, and I always love stuff that looks batik. So I just pulled this one out. Again, I'm really grungy on my white stuff, but I do want you to know, do you see how dirty this white is? But even when I push down kind of hard, I'm still getting a lot of white showing through. Okay, so thank you so much. Okay, I wasn't just trying to fish for compliments. I wanted to see if you looked at it and what you thought, just because it's pretty easy to navigate and pretty self-explanatory. I think it's pretty clean. Right, and I want to, again, you don't always, if you want to stamp in one solid color, of course, hey, go to it. But I do love to blend colors and sort of, for those of you who have watched me paint or stamp or make art of any form, I'm great at smushing. Ta-da! Oh, I just love the stamp, Natalie. I mean, this makes me want to make like a table runner or something just so I can use the stamp. Anyway, Natalie has a lot of awesome pattern making stamps and stamps that go with her stencils and stamps that go with her other, or ArtFoamies that go with her other Rubber Moon stamps. So, all right, let's pull out Candy Rosenberg, a vintage girl, and who does not love and need a set of beautiful wings. She actually has some awesome, really nice dragonfly wings and also these butterfly rings, which I love because first of all, they're super easy to use and to line up. If you need to realign them, super easy again. But I love also the size, okay? And they're just lovely. They're just simple but lovely. So definitely would be a must-have, okay? And that's Candy Rosenberg, a vintage girl. Oh, and I forgot to tell you Natalie's number. But again, I don't really feel like I need to because it's not that hard to find on the website. But it is, this boutique stamp is NK0004. And these butterfly wings are CR0002. All right, so this one here is a little set, which I'm in love with, and appropriately because it is a love set. And it is by Flutterby Designs, and you get 3 of these babies. And I know that it's not, you know, Valentine's Day or anything like that, but me personally, I always love hearts and the word love. So I really am super partial to this stamp. I like the 3. I like that it's a set of 3. Super great for, you know, card making if you're a card maker, but journaling. But again, these are bold enough that you could really use them on fabric, on canvas, whatever you want. All right, so I'm again just doing some little gradients and having fun with color. So that one just says love in a repeat. And again, just, I'm not going to re-ink this, but so easy to line these up. You know, that's one of the wonderful things about them, especially so easy like this, or when they're cut out, because you can really see to line them up nicely. So I love these heart stamps and these love stamps. And again, it all comes in this nice little set. Super fun. Maybe for this one, you just want to choose one heart to sort of make it a different color. No, you can't really see it, but it's a little bit different of a color. And again, this set is from Flutterby Designs, and it's called the Love Set. Just lovely. So, and she has so many cute designs. Oh my gosh. And I can't wait for you to see them all. I know that you're not seeing them all, and I'm sorry about that. But like I said, it gives you something to look forward to, and keeps us in work. All right, so that was Flutterby. Let's see who else we have here. We have some from Julie Balzer from Balzer Designs. And of course, it was really hard to choose because who does not love Julie Balzer's mixed media? Okay. But I have to say, and I did do a little watercolor with this one the other day, but I absolutely am totally enamored with this stamp. So it might have a little bit of color on it from watercolor. So I am going to sort of wipe some of that away just because I don't want it to turn brown. It has orange watercolor still on it. One thing you don't want to do, you don't really want to rub and scrub your foamies a lot. Running them under a little, you know, clean water is great, and then letting them dry. You don't want to really saturate them or soak them in water. And this might still have a little bit of watercolor on there, but I'm not going to worry about it too much. Yeah, yes, I did my nails this morning for our manicure. I don't know if you've watched any of the lives in the morning, Cindy, but um, I've been doing a manicure once a week, and they look so much better. I know you're used to them being really bad. All right, so again, let me just ink this up a little bit because I think some of my ink pads are a little bit dry. And I will come on and do some demos, you know, with y'all doing different mediums like watercolor or acrylics. We'll definitely do some fun makeys here and there using the ArtFoamies with different mediums. But like I said, I at least wanted to stamp some of this out for you. And I'm not sure if I got that dark enough, but it's okay. You'll get the idea, right? Edie, oh my gosh, it's so good to see you. I'm so happy you're here. Ta-da! Isn't it gorgeous? Ah, I'm in love with this stamp. So super fun. Nice and large. You could cover the whole back of a card just with one stamping with this. Even in a small journal, you know, so really one of the things, like I said, that I super love about ArtFoamies is it just gives you, you know, with rubber stamps, having a stamp that big would not only just be huge and heavy and super expensive, but we just don't make them that big because it's just so, I mean, it would take us so long to press that stamp, you know. So it really gives us some size options. And again, this is Julie Balzer's design, and it's BD0005 called Botanical. Have a couple more here to share with you. This is, again, and many of you may know Jessica Sporn. I hope you do because I love her art. She has a few of these same images on Rubber Moon in rubber stamps, but they're small. You know, they're like much smaller, I guess I should say. And so it's really, really nice having you know, the flexibility to do these a little bit larger. So I'm really, really excited about that. Cindy, you don't need to pick weeds right this minute. I hope. And so that's Jessica's Hampsa, which I adore. So just, oh, so many images. My mind is spinning with possibilities. And these are from Enoch Kessler. And I think that you've seen quite a few things that I've done with this image because I really, really like these shapes a lot. They're great for over, you know, you can stamp over, use them for under and over stamping if you want to. I did this one with watercolor not too long ago, and I really love the way it turned out. Christy, nice to see you. Thanks for popping in. So isn't that so cute? And then you can stamp over, which is kind of fun to do also. We do have a few different sets that are overs and unders. Okay, so kind of similar to this. And again, really pretty easy to line those babies up. Okay. And not perfect. Art foamies are really not meant for a perfectly crisp image the same way that you may see, you know, rubber stamps. You're not going to get the same level of detail, but that's the fun of it. And also just the fun of, you know, the whole idea of working with mixed media like that. So again, that is the little set of people from Einat Kessler. And let's see, we still have a couple more. We have this one, which I also adore. This is called Moroccan Tulip, and it's from Lisa Walton. Oops. She has one that's an orchid too, and I really love it also. Oh, now see, I'm getting my thumbprint on there. All right, I'm going to just take a peek and see if anyone has any questions at all. If you have any questions, just go ahead and let me know. While I continue to just stamp these. Again, this one is called Moroccan Tulip, and it is from Lisa Walton. Well, I will tell you, sometimes if you have, you know, the nice thing again about foamies, about our foamies, or at least one of the things that I love, is that you can have them, you know, they're cut to the detail, but every now and then you get something like this, you really need to make sure to give that its own little push, because you're not going to get perfectly even pressure on those little outers. Isn't that so cool? Oh my gosh. So, and especially if you're working in a large journal, or again doing fabric things, which I just got a sewing machine for my birthday, and so I am super excited to do some tablecloths and some table runners and hopefully some little pouches. I want to do a lot of stuff on canvas too. It's really just opening up so many possibilities. So a stamp buddy, I have to tell you, a stamp buddy is a pad that you put paint on and you use it to ink your stamp. I don't have any stamp buddies right now. I actually had only 2 stamp buddies, and I let paint dry on mine. So don't do that. So we'll have some stamp buddies here in about a week, and I will do a demo, but you can definitely I will find the link on YouTube to share with you so that you can see what a stamp buddy is. Okay. So it's a pad that you use to put paint on so that you can ink your larger art foamies. And so I will I will show you or I'll share a video with you, and then as soon as we get them in, because it is something that we will be making. Sadly, as many of you know, shipping times are a little bit slower nowadays, and so some of the things that we ordered are not in yet. But I will show you stamp buddies, and we'll do a little demo as soon as we get them in. Okay. I'm not even sure if they're listed on the website. We will be listing stamp buddies on our website as well. All right. So I do have a couple more stamps to share with you. I wanted to share with you Gypsy Soul, Gina Hubbard's designs, and I think she did about 10. But I'm actually going to show you 2 of hers because one of them I love so much. And then she also did this little collection called Fragments. And they're just like mixed media, you know, shapes or designs really. And I love this one a lot. So just wanted to pull this one out and show it to you because I just love all the fragments. If you look at the Gypsy Soul, you know, tab and look at all her designs, the ones that are called fragments are just really, really cool. I can't wait to use them with the jelly plate. And of course, you know how much I love rainbows, so I had to do mine rainbow. Mushrooms, that's funny, Alba. I have some mushrooms designed, but they're not cut yet. So nothing that, we didn't put up anything that was not cut. Okay, so check back for the mushrooms soon, okay? I have mushrooms and a gnome that I designed, but are not cut. Ta-da! Isn't that so cool? Oh my God. And then of course, you know, just that sort of all over whatever, you can just keep stamping it out and get just such cool backgrounds and things. So I just love the stamp and I just want to play with it. And I don't know, I think it would be really fun also to stamp. Remember, you could stamp this even in embossing ink and then emboss this and then watercolor in between those little waffles. I don't know. I just think that would be really fun too. There's just something about this. I love the texture. So that is one of Gina's from Gypsy Soul. And then I wanted to show you this one too because I really, really like it. And I have a sort of a funny story about it. So this, when I saw this stamp and Gina said, oh, would you want to do this as a foamy? I was like, yes, I love it. So when I was going to cut it though, well, actually, I was there with my son, Michael, and we were looking at the art, but there was like a blank space right here, a big blank space. And I said, well, I don't want to change her art at all. You know, I'm not going to change anybody's art. You know, I said, but I think she'll agree that that's a big blank space right there. So I told him, I said, just pull that heart out of the middle of the bee and stick it down there and take a leaf off of each of her little sprigs and put it to the side and make it a little bigger and voila. And then of course I showed her and she loved it. So she was happy, I was happy, and you'll all be happier too because it just looks much better than having that blank space right there. And just problem solved, you know, pretty quick. And I just love this stamp. Okay, so Audrey is asking, can the stamps be used to create original artwork that can be sold? If it is hand stamped, we do have an angel policy. You cannot create prints or you cannot do anything that manipulates the image, you know, digitally. So as you can sell things that you make as long as it's hand stamped. That's really the key. As long as you stamped it, it was not reproduced. Okay. One thing I will mention, and this will be a good sort of little tip for you. Sometimes, especially when you push kind of hard, so say I ink this stamp up. Let me just ink it again. I'm just going to ink it with a bunch of yellow all over, okay? And just, I'm going to hit it kind of hard. And then say I stamp kind of hard, okay? And I mash. You might get a little ring, and that's because what's happening is some of that flush, the flush part down here is getting a little ink or paint, especially if you're going to be painting or watercoloring and you're getting some juicy color, some ink or paint. It will transfer. So you just want to make sure that when your stamp, and that's with any kind of stamp, hits that surface of your paper, that you're not mashing or rocking, okay? You just want firm, even pressure. If you're finding that you're still getting a little bit of that, sometimes the edges of these can be up just a little tiny bit. You can always get your scissors and just trim gently away some of that edge, okay? It's not going to hurt anything as long as you're not touching anything that's raised up. And I'm not telling you to cut up your stamps. I'm just saying if there's ever a little lip that's poking up, you can easily remedy that. But usually, really, it's just a matter of not stamping quite so hard. Okay. So last but not least, I would like to share with you a couple of my new designs because I was so excited to make art foamies. I don't know if you all knew this, but at one time I had been talking to Emmy, the previous owner of Art Foamies. I had been talking to her talking with her about possibly doing some Art Foamies. And so we even did a couple prototypes, but it was never anything bad. It was just one of those things that did not work out. Like we just could never connect, or like she would write me and I wouldn't write her back, or I'd write her and she wouldn't write me back. It was just, timing. Okay. So, of course, I already had so many ideas and I was so excited to try them that this is what I did. So I don't know how many of you actually got a chance to see when we first came out and said we were buying art foamies, and I sold goodie boxes and to try to raise some money to help me with art foamies. And I said I was going to design a special art foamy stamp just for the thank you. Okay, which I did. And so this was included with a special goodie box. Okay, and so this is the actual image, which I'll show to you here. I have it stamped out anywhere. Oh, well, I don't know if I do. The nice thing about this, though, is that it actually comes apart into 3 separate rings. So you can use it as one piece. You could use it just as a board, as 2 pieces if you wanted to, like so. You could just use this by itself as a border if you wanted to. Okay, so there's just so many different ways that you can utilize the stamp. If you want, the nice thing that I like about it is that I can ink it up separately as 3 separate stamps. Okay, so I'm going to ink it up this way. Can even give it a little ring around the moon. I can give it a little gradient there. Okay, then I could do this a different color if I wanted to. And that was kind of dumb because I don't know if I would do it blue with orange, but that's okay. Then I can put it together, and then I can stamp it all at one as one if I want to. If I want to stamp this all as one stamp, I can do it that way, which is kind of cool. But you don't really need to do that, but you can. Okay, so if you do, I'm just going to grab it this way. If I was really wanting to stamp it as one stamp, I would probably tape the back with a little masking tape, but you can also kind of give it a squeeze. Okay, and then I'm going to just, and of course it's not going to be, the face is probably turned around, but that's okay. And my colors aren't good. Now I can pull it up one at a time, makes it a little easier. Okay, of course I would not have given him a green face, but you get the idea. But of course, if I just wanted to use this as a border, I could do that. And again, if I just wanted to stamp this as one stamp, I can do that. Okay. Again, just showing you the endless possibilities that way. So that, my friends, was a limited edition. This one is actually not for sale, but I will tell you that I made one for sale so that way you could start your collection, because definitely I am going to be coming out with different rings and different centers. And the nice thing is, if you did get a goodie box or you got one of the thank yous, then you already have this. You could purchase this one, and remember that they're all fully interchangeable. So maybe you don't want the stars around. Maybe you would rather have these little triangles. Okay, and again, green face, really weird. It's okay. but just gives a completely different look and super fun. Just honestly, just super fun to do. I won't lie. I was really excited about that because I had been thinking about this for almost a year. So when I actually saw it and I got it to work, I was even more tickled, as you can imagine. So I did, and I will just share with you, I did get a little head start on some centers. So we're selling a little set of faces, 4 fab faces. And of course, they also do fit right in the center. So you can have your little kitty cat face. And I'll do a dog too. I promise. That one just came out. I didn't mean to necessarily do a kitty cat face, but, and you can see they all just pop right in there. So of course you can use them separately, together, or whatever, but it's just super fun. So we're doing, so I don't know how many of you knew me from way back in the day, from my parents' rubber stamp company, F. Eaglett's Fingers St. Louis Stamp Design. And I completely forgot why I was bringing that up. Something, I don't know, it just went in my head and went right out of my head. Oh, from concentrics. So back in the day, I designed stamps called Effie's Eccentric Concentrics, and they were concentric circles and squares, and they were just stamps with a line inside of a line inside of a line. And so these are creative concentrics, and I will be coming out with, you know, squares and different shapes in the future. But first things first. And I don't know, this is a, so no, Puffer just asked Nancy. Nancy said old timer alert. Yeah, a couple of us know about that, right? Puffer just asked if the love, peace, and happiness, this is or peace, love, and happiness would fit. And no, not really. Although, let me just tell you, of course, you could stamp this, even though it doesn't fit inside of it. If I guess if I would have made them just a tiny, tiny bit smaller, it would. No, Zandra, Marlene chose to not follow with ArtFoamies. She and Emmy are really, really good friends, and I think she just did not want to be with anybody besides Emmy. So no, we will no longer be carrying her stamps. I'm sure that you can still, you know, find some of them online if anybody's interested in the Marlene collections. You know, you can, I'm sure, just type her name in and find them online somewhere. I'm sure there's still stores, you know, that have her stuff and online outlets. Yeah, it's too bad. I liked her work a lot, and that was kind of a bummer, but it's okay. You know, people have to do what they're happy and comfortable with, and I would never want anybody, you know, it happened when we took over Rubber Moon too. Some of the artists decided that they wanted to go on to other things, and that's just, you know, that's the nature of uh, the business. So even though the rings, I mean, I'm sorry, I just kind of got off on that tangent because Puffer was asking if the rings fit with the love, peace, and happiness. And even though it doesn't fit inside, it fits perfectly as a, you know, as a border. What am I trying to say? But yes, Zandra, that is, and I hope I'm saying, is it Zandra or Zandra? Zandra. You know, it's nice because it's going to open up. We were not going to take any new artists, but now we have a little room to wiggle. So we'll be doing some, you know, bringing on some new artists as well. And I also do have an exciting announcement. We are, and this is for Rubber Moon, 100 Proof Press, and ArtFoamies. We are going to be looking for a new design team soon. So keep your eyes peeled for information about that. It might be a little while, so I'm just letting you know. So we're pretty excited about that because it's going to be a collaboration team with between 100 Proof Press, Rubber Moon, and ArtFoamies. So again, excited about that because I don't feel like any other, companies have really done any collaborative design teams. And so we are really looking forward to it. And, I love 100 proof press stamps. They're very, very different, of course, from Rubber Moon. And that is one reason why I love them so much. But it's just a completely different look and feel, but they still somehow manage to go together. So anyway, all right, let me turn this camera around for a minute and come back over here to my face. All right, so now that I have inky fingers, I feel my job is done. Yes, Xandra, I know who you are. I just, I remember, and you know what? My mermaid brushes are right here, and also you gave me beautiful little pans of watercolor that I love. So if anybody loves sparkly watercolor, visit Xandra's. Xandra, you can post your link. I really don't mind. Actually, would you please, if anybody would like to check out Xandra's uh, website, she has amazing watercolors. You gave me rose gold. Rose gold. Yes, rose gold. I remember, but I couldn't remember if it was Xandra or Zandra, but I'm thinking it's Xandra, right? Well, so Audrey wants to know, will the microcosms work with the face stamp? I'm not sure what you like. Do you mean in here? Some of the microcosms might fit. I don't have them right here to be able to check, but I'm thinking they'll definitely go inside the ring. Yes, any RTR. Red tin roof. Yeah, but she said any RTR. I'm not sure what that means. Did I not do red tin roof? I thought I didn't do red tin roof. Oh my God. See, I told you I'd forget something, even though I had it written down. Hold on, I'm going to grab one or more. Red tin roof. No, I don't, I think I didn't grab hers. And you know what? It was because it was a set red tin roof. How I would forget you. So I'm going to show this set from Red Tin Roof, and I'm so sorry. I feel like a big chump. But Red Tin Roof actually has some gorgeous sets. And again, she has a lot that we don't have up there. And I don't know if I really said the reason why was because the software that we got would not read the software that Emmy had. And so every single image had to be redone. And so it's taken all this time even to get what we have. So she is having to reconfigure them and send them to me. And so that's how come it's very, not a lot. But anyway, yes, I'm so sorry, Red Tin Roof. And it's so funny that you said that too, because my daughter came in and she was seeing some of the ones I stamped and she's like, oh my gosh, I love that apple set. And I was like, me too. And look how amazing it is. And then when I was gathering everybody's art, I left her off. How horrible of me. So this is Red Tin Roof's apple set. I'm using my yellow Moonlight Duo, but again, it's not pure. It's, oh, here, let me go back down here. You're just watching my face, watching me talk. Oh gosh. All right. So, my yellow ink pad, which is quite grungy, but the yellow is nice, or the white actually is because it's muted out. It's not pure white. It's sort of the color that an apple would be on the inside. So I just rubbed a little bit of that on there, and then I'm going to take a little bit of my red, kind of just hit those edges just a tiny bit. And look how, isn't it gorgeous? Oh, and then look at this. Then this is the part. This is a big set, okay? It has has the apple and the sliced apple, and it has 2 leaves, and it has an apple blossom, and it actually has 2 other blossom, like here. 2 other little blossoms like that. So it's quite a large set. But I love the way that these surfaces will really take that, and you can just really play and get such nice isn't that gorgeous? Oh my gosh, I'm just in love with it. Beautiful. So see, I saved the best for last, red tin roof. All right, so this is a blossom, and let's see. Well, I had a great color for that blossom, but I don't have it here on my table. So I'm just going to use my Milky Way magenta. Isn't that so pretty? I just love it. Anyway, what a great set. If you, this again, I could see like a super fun tablecloth. I don't know how many of you know this, but one of my things on my bucket list is to do a vegan cookbook. So I could see this being a beautiful backdrop for a recipe. I don't know. Anyway, it's just super fun. These nice, big, large surfaces. So fun to paint and ink up. So again, of course, my apologies for leaving red tin roof off. I would never purposely leave anybody off, but especially when they have such a cool, a cool thing to be playing with. And of course, another leaf. I won't stamp it for you though. Beautiful. And even I even love the way the stamps look after when they're all inked up. All right. Now, I hope I didn't forget anybody. Now, if so, I guess I will have to come back on and do it all again. I'm putting all these here just because Mr. Moon says it's terrible to have a white background because it makes the camera go crazy. So we'll just put all those there. And get a baby wipe and clean off my hands and turn this back around. So no, Dottie Lou, at this time, the patron discounts do not work with ArtFoamies. We will figure something out for a discount on ArtFoam or on Patreon, okay? Because I do want that to be one of the perks for sure. Thanks, but I do also, let's see. Yes, Gina Hubbard said teacher gifts with that apple. So that would be a great teacher gift. All right. I just wanted to take a look at the comments and kind of just see if I was answering everybody. Tell you thank you all again so much for being here, for being excited with me, for all your support, and just being I don't know, being wonderful. I'm trying to think if I'm forgetting anything. I probably am, but no, Wendy, if you had an account on ArtFoamies, it is not still valid because it's a completely different website. So you will need to go in and set a new account up if, if you want to. We'd love for you to. So, yes, Sarah, thank you so much for joining me. I can't wait to talk to you. For any of the Art Foamy artists, I just want to say I'm so grateful for you for sticking with us. And please feel free to call me on the phone. We'll have a like a meeting soon where we can talk about future things. I really appreciate your support. Gina, Aarons, and Patty Parrish, thank you again so much. I can't wait to talk to you both. Tracy, I love you to the moon and back always. Thank you so much, Libby. Anyway, I hope that you enjoyed seeing everything as much as I've enjoyed working on it and bringing it to you. I can't wait to see what you create with them and just share so much more makeys and moons and foamies. I love you all to the moon and back. Thank you so much, and I will see you very soon. And if you have any questions, of course, email me, message me, get in touch. Thanks so much again. Have a wonderful night. You're all my inspiration, and don't forget to wash your hands and go get makey. Bye.